Item Number SCP-2315. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-2315 is kept in a standard containment locker at Site-17. Personnel are advised never to answer SCP-2315, except as required for testing. All calls received by SCP-2315 must be logged and reported to MTF-3, the phone company, immediately for an attempt to trace the call. All personnel who report a call must also report their age, location of their mother, and status of relations with her. Note from Principal Researcher Perry: given the events of prior calls, pinpointing the source of the call is considered a top priority when SCP-2315 undergoes testing. Do not test SCP-2315 without informing MTF-3. Description: SCP-2315 is a factory-standard iPhone 6, with no noticeable marks on the exterior or interior of the object. The phone does not have a lock code, nor password. SCP-2315 operates normally until placed in a room with a single subject below the age of 30, whose biological mother is still alive. When these requirements are met, the phone will ring, displaying a caller identification of Mother. When answered, a voice, designated SCP-2315-1, can be heard on the phone. Subjects describe SCP-2315-1 as the voice of their mother, and can converse freely with it. Triangulation methods have reduced the target range of the source of the phone call to somewhere within 1 km of the subject's biological mother, but all attempts at pinpointing the call from there have failed to date. Subjects who meet the above criteria at later dates will continue to receive calls from SCP-2315-1 at a rate of 1 per day. Subjects report feeling increasingly uneasy with each successive call. The general pattern of phone calls are as follows. The first call is uneventful, although subjects report SCP-2315-1 as disapproving, but still supportive. During the second call, SCP-2315-1 talks about topics that distress the subject. Subjects report that it becomes increasingly more hostile throughout the call. SCP-2315-1 is both extremely hostile towards the subject and proclaiming its love and support for the subject during the third call. Common events include yelling, screaming, and requests for dangerous activities from the subject, until the subject either hangs up or expires. The third call has been recorded as capable of continuing for hours without rest. Addendum: Experiment Log D-135 was instructed to enter an empty containment cell holding SCP-2315 on a table, and await further instruction. Microphones throughout the cell were used to record the call. Day 1. Researcher: Dr. Perry. Subject: D-135. Begin log. D-135. What the… The phone's ringing, and it says Mother. Dr. Perry. Answer the phone, D-135. Hello? Thomas? Thomas, is that really you? Mom? Oh, Thomas, that is you! Oh, I never thought I'd hear your voice again after they took you to prison. Me neither, Mom. I never thought I'd miss your voice so much. Neither did I, Thomas. You never listened to me when you were around. Huh? Oh, you heard me. You just had to spend all your time with those people, didn't you? Nothing good was ever going to come from it. Remember me telling you that? They're going to get you in trouble and drop you like yesterday's trash. And you just had to rob that store, didn't you? I know, you told me it was an accident, but you never meant to hurt that kind old man behind the counter. But you did. And your friends bolted, and here you are, rotting away, bringing shame to me and your family. If only you'd listened to me and stayed away from them, none of this would have happened. It's alright that you didn't have a proper job. We'd have taken care of each other until you did. but now I've got to think just how lonely it is without you. Every day. No, Mom, please. I know things look bad, but I made a deal, Mom. I'll be getting out in a month. I can come by and take care of you, and I'll be better, I swear. Really, Thomas? What sort of deal? Are you going to escape? No, Mom, it's a legit deal. No, Mom, it's a legit deal. I'm helping out with a few things for some people. Legit things. And I'll be released for good behavior. You'd better not be lying to me, young man. No, I swear, it's the truth. Really? Oh, that's wonderful news. I'll get your old room all prepared, and we can be together as a family again. I love you, Thomas. I hope you know that. Please stay good and don't screw this up. Yes'm. Good. It's so good to hear your voice again, Thomas. End log. Discussion. D-135 was interviewed for identification to his biological mother, and returned to his cell. Agent Washington was dispatched to arrive at D-135's mother's residence and observe if she undergoes any changes, or shows awareness regarding the phone call. MTF Upsilon 3 is prepared to track the source of the call, given the expectation that it will occur within 1 kilometer of D-135's mother's residence. Day 2. Researcher Dr. Perry. Subject D-135. Begin log. D-135. Hello? SCP-2315-1. Thomas? Thomas, is that you? Yeah, Mom, is everything alright? Well, there's a very nice gentleman here. He says he's from something called the SCP Foundation. We've been talking. I have to ask you something, Thomas. Please don't lie to Mother. No, of course not, Mom. What is it? Are you D-Class? Yeah, Mom. I served the SCP Foundation for a month, and they let me go. No, Thomas, no. How could you do this? Don't you know what happens to D-Class at the end of the month? They let us go? You're always so stupid, young man. They kill you. What? They said… I know what they tell you. Do you think that they'd really let you go after seeing all the things you're exposed to? If they didn't kill you, you'd probably sprout extra eyes or get eaten by some spider, or grow a creepy mask instead of a proper face. And then where are you? Mom, no, they just want me to answer these calls. I'll be fine. Oh, you say that now, while you don't know better. Agent Washington and I have been talking, Thomas. Once his little test is done, they're going to expose you to some mechanical disease, and then have you explore some derelict cruise ship. There's no coming home after you've been turned into some clockwork beast. Mechanical what? You have no idea what they're capable of, Thomas. I do. We've been talking. They've got aliens, monsters, world-destroying machines, and they take prisoners like you and feed you to these monsters to figure out how exactly they work. You're doomed, listening to these doctors in their little white coats. Who is that watching you? Dr. Perry? Yeah, I think so. Mom, how do you know that? I'm your mother, Thomas. I know. Just leave things to me. I'll get you out of there. You're going to be fine. Do not trust those people, Thomas. Do you hear me? I hear you, Mom. Good. For once in your life. And your life depends on it. End log. Discussion. Agent Washington confirms that he was with D-135's mother during the call, but that she did not call anyone, nor exhibit any atypical behavior indicating a call. He further denied discussing the Foundation with her. Given the fact that the call uses facts about the Foundation, priority has been placed to trace the call. All traces have failed. The possibility that Agent Washington is being untruthful about his role and D-135's mother's activity is considered. A second detail is dispatched to covertly observe and record D-135's mother and corroborate his story. Agent Washington was instructed to return to Site-17 the next day. D-135 was hostile to being returned to his cell, and has to be escorted under sedation. He is to be isolated, and watched until tomorrow. Priority given to call tracing. This may be a breach in process. Site Director. Day 3. Researcher: Dr. Perry. Subject: D-135. Begin log. D-135. Hi, Mom. SCP-2315-1. Yes, Thomas, dear. It's your mother. They drugged me and kept a guard posted outside my cell last night, Mom. I know, dear. They know you know the truth. What am I going to do, Mom? Well, I was able to speak more to Agent Washington last night, and he told me about the object they have contained in the cell next to the one you're presently in. You need to cause the object next door to breach. You'll be able to escape when they try to contain the breach. Okay, Mom. How am I supposed to do that? It feeds on blood, Thomas. You're going to have to bleed for it, and it will come for you. Can you do that for me, Thomas? But how am I going to bleed, Mom? Scratch your arm on the corner of the table in this room, then bite deeper into the scratch to open yourself up. It is going to hurt, but you have to be brave for Mother. Can you do this for me? Okay. This sounds completely crazy, Mom. Why am I doing this? Oh, Thomas. You're doing this because you made bad decision after bad decision your entire life. You couldn't complete school. You couldn't get a job. You had to turn to a life of crime, and you were too stupid not to get caught. But that wasn't crazy enough for you now, was it, Thomas? No. Then you had to go and jump on the first insane idea to come along. Don't you remember just how plastic that recruiter looked? How they corralled you all into that room? You even saw that weird necklace that one man was wearing? Everything looked wrong to you, but no, you jumped at that. You couldn't listen to your dear mother any time ever, but you could listen to that doctor with the too wide grin. I only wanted what's best for you for your entire life, and you can only listen to negligent predators who want nothing more than to harm you in ways you can't even imagine. I'm sorry, Mom. I love you, Mom. I love you too, Thomas. And that's why you're going to bleed for the object next door now. Draw a pentagram on the wall with your blood. I'll tell you what to write. End log. Discussion. D-135 proceeded to open a vein in his left arm, and began painting his blood on the containment cell wall, attempting to draw a pentagram with his right hand. He kept SCP-2315 close to his ear. D-135 cried and continued to draw for 5 minutes, 32 seconds, before collapsing from blood loss. Guards and paramedics entered to stabilize D-135 and escorted him to the infirmary while retrieving SCP-2315. Agent Washington informed researchers that he did provide his phone number to D-135's mother, and she did call him the night previous to the events of Day 3. He reports that the call was specifically about D-135's history and how his mother misses him. Agent Washington reports never mentioning items in containment with D-135's mother. Agent Washington's call logs were examined and revealed a 20-minute call between him and D-135's mother. Transcripts of the call were corrupted and could not be reconstructed. Agent Washington has been placed under surveillance pending investigation of breach of disclosure agreements. The covert surveillance team reports that D-135's mother was at her residence, on the phone during the call of Day 3. She appeared relaxed and unstressed. Unexplained audio interference prevented recording of D-135's mother. MTF-Epsilon-3 were unable to pinpoint the source of the call to SCP-2315, but was able to reduce the area to within 300 meters of D-135's mother's residence. Researchers note that the room on the other side of the wall on which D-135 drew held supplies for conferences and seminars, tables, chairs, projection equipment, and was not used for containment. The room was emptied and its contents examined for anomalous characteristics. In addition to the standard supplies, a blister containing half of an Apple A8 processor and 40 ml of A3 was found on the opposite side of the wall, next to SCP-2315's containment locker, and D-135's pentagram. Used in the Apple iPhone 6. Unlike previously held samples of the material had a characteristic floral scent, which D-135 later identified as his mother's favorite perfume. In the interest of preventing a Uranus event, SCP-2315 has been moved to the Euclid Wing, and the conference storage room emptied until further notice. An event during which anomalies are spontaneously generated through the nearby location of other anomalies. See SCP-970, SCP-2305, and SCP-2403 as anomalies so generated. Incident 2315-D. Incident Number 2315-D. Subject: Agent Rashawn Washington. Objects involved: SCP-2315. Summary: Agent Washington made an unauthorized entry into SCP-2315's temporary containment chamber. Automatic surveillance equipment recorded Agent Washington grabbing SCP-2315 when it rang and answered the call. The following conversation was recorded. Begin log. Washington: Hello there. SCP-2315-1. Rashawn? Is that you? It's your mother. You're not my mother. Rashawn! What kind of a greeting is that? Listen, I know you weren't Mrs. Hintz when you were calling him. I was there. She never called when he picked up. I never told her anything about the Foundation, but somehow, you know all about us. I don't know how you keep managing to keep up this plausible deniability. Why people's real mom just might be calling. But I know that's not what's happening. So you can just drop this mother game and talk to me straight. You are not my mother. Well, you certainly ain't no son of mine, because I taught my kids proper respect growing up. What Foundation? You always told me you got a job with the feds. Is the truth coming out now? Are you ready to stop lying to me? Or did you get too chummy with that Mexican hitman? What? I never talked about him. Oh, but that sort of thing is clear on a boy's face when he comes home for Christmas. Sirens made you jumpy. I know you were up to no good. Mother always knows, Rashawn. You can't keep secrets from me. Information transfer. Visual. Network. Anomalous. Oh no, I'm not letting you withdraw now, Rashawn. You're a grown man. No hiding in the cupboard reciting your multiplication tables anymore. We're having a conversation, and you're going to respond to me and talk to your mother like a goddamn adult. All knowledge. Knowledge of subject's mother. Knowledge of mother's whereabouts. Knowledge of environs. Secrets held by each party. All information transfer requires the proximity of an appropriate transmitter receiver, whether by sight, sound, radio, networks, or anomalous. I don't believe it. You really are just going to pretend you're 7 again and hide in the cupboard? The lies and secrets just keep going on, don't they? When are you going to grow up, Rashawn? No, Mom. You're just sucking in knowledge from everyone near the phone, or near their mother somehow. But why? Are you an info war or something? Why did you make Thomas draw that pentagram? Is this all just a ploy to get us to summon something? Do you just want to make us feel bad? Is that why you lied about killing the D-Class and all? Info war? Feel bad? Pentagram? Did you just call me the devil? Darling, no. What kind of a son calls their own mother the devil? Oh, Rashawn, my lovely little boy. Do you know what you're doing to your mother? You're not my mother. Because I do. End log. Discussion. Agent Washington turned himself in immediately after the encounter with SCP-2315, accepting an official reprimand and requesting psychological counseling. Further investigation cleared him of any wrongdoing with regards to his performance during the testing with D-135. Additional commentary. D-135's mother was diagnosed with a supratemporal meningioma approximately 10 months after his testing with SCP-2315. Surgery was successful in removing the tumor. The tumor demonstrated RF transmission along 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. Bluetooth version 4.0, AGPS, and NFC protocols. Agent Washington's mother has been placed under medical watch. Dr. Perry.